This could be bad. Not only did the Lakers lose to the Detroit Pistons in their last game, Anthony Davis has an injury that he's been dealing with for quite some time now, and there is some uncertainty of his status for the next game. However, the Lakers could have some reinforcements on the way in the shape of a 7-foot shot blocking center. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming at you with another video. And before we get into everything we have for you for today's video, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get those Laker updates. And we are pushing towards 3,000 subscribers, guys, and we're ever so close. So each and every one of you guys who subscribe to the channel really help out, and you don't want to miss those Laker updates. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into today's topics, as Anthony Davis is listed as questionable. So the Lakers have had a poor start to their road trip, as going 1-3 so far on their road trip, losing to the Detroit Pistons in their last one, not having the requisite energy, effort, or athletes to compete with Detroit, and now pile that on top with another issue, as Anthony Davis is now listed as questionable as what they're calling a left calf or left heel contusion. So this is from Dave McMiniman, who covers the team, and he said the Lakers are calling Anthony Davis' injury a left heel contusion and is listed as questionable for Wednesday's game in Memphis. So that would be the Lakers' last game of the road trip, and Memphis is always a team that kind of gives the Lakers some issues, obviously, with some of the athletes they got, and not having Anthony Davis really does not make any of this thing works, because Anthony Davis has been tremendous for the Los Angeles Lakers to start the season, looking like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and an MVP candidate at the same time. So missing Anthony Davis is going to be a huge blow for the Los Angeles Lakers, but we're still unsure of it, because he was still unsure of it that day, talking about it to the media right after the game, and also even LeBron, because he was asked about it as well. And while one of the reporters was asking LeBron the question if LeBron or Anthony Davis was going to be out, Anthony Davis was heard in the background saying he's not out. So there has been some fight and some kick from Anthony Davis. He has been banged up here and there, but for the most part, for the past 2 years, he has been playing through those injuries and really gutting it out for his team. So that is very commendable from his standpoint. But just for the Lakers' sake, this is kind of like the first time that we're kind of like a little bit iffy on if whether or not Anthony Davis was going to play. Yes, he did miss some games last season, but he played the most that he has in quite a while, and most in his Laker tenure, up to 75 plus games. So he was able to be on the floor, be available for the Lakers, and miss minimal time. And hopefully this is something of that similar ilk. We don't know, like I said, we don't know too much about it just yet. We'll see what happens tomorrow and how Anthony Davis feels. But I would say maybe the only silver lining from this thing is Anthony Davis has been dealing with this apparently since the end of last season, and he also dealt with it through the Olympics, where he looked pretty fine, pretty spry, just the same Anthony Davis. And even the beginning of this season, he said it just flared up a little bit when he landed on it wrong against the Detroit Pistons. So he's been dealing with this for quite some time, and so hopefully he can be able to get through it and get go through a game, because the Lakers are going to need Anthony Davis's defensive size and the stuff that he's been bringing on the offensive end. Like I said, he's been playing like a Defensive Player of the Year and MVP candidate, because like look at these numbers for Anthony Davis to start the season. It's only 7 games, but he's been tremendous. 32 points per game. That leads the league in scoring, and he's averaging about 11.6 rebounds per game to go along with 3 assists, 1.7 blocks, 1.6 steals per game. Keeping the turnovers pretty low for a guy who is a high usage person. Only under a foul a game, shooting almost 58% from the field, while it's only 16% from 3. I do believe that is going to go up as he plays more games and gets into more of a rhythm from 3. So I do think that is going to rise eventually, but the man's still leading the league in scoring, albeit his three-point percentage isn't that high. So this could be even better for a guy like Anthony Davis. He's able to knock down some more outside shots, and if he keeps taking them, I do think they'll eventually go in for Anthony Davis. But for the Lakers, missing a guy like AD would be massive, but there could be some help on the way, as that's our next topic here, as Christian Koloko's return is imminent. So Christian Koloko I believe it was last week, he got cleared from the NBA to start his return to play process. And so he's been working out with the South Bay Lakers a little bit and really getting some reps in and trying to get a little bit into game shape. And it looks like he's going to be with the Lakers in Memphis for their final game of the road trip. So this is from Dan Wilkie, who's with the LA Times and covers the Lakers. And then he said that Anthony Davis is questionable with his foot injury. Christian Koloko is not on the injury report, and he's hearing that he's in Memphis and should be active tomorrow night, or later tonight. So for the Lakers, that is a massive get for them because they haven't had any real sides behind Jackson besides Jackson Hayes. So getting another center they can possibly throw into the rotation could be huge for this Laker team. And he's a different type of center as he is more of a shot blocker and more of a rim threat back there, and he has some switchability and has some mobility from a defensive standpoint, so he can really help the Lakers shore them up on that side of the ball. He's probably the guy who's most comparable to Anthony Davis, albeit not Anthony Davis in practice, but he is the most comparable with his size, his length, his athleticism, and his mobility and switchability. So getting a guy like that, just another extra body, is really going to help out this Lakers squad and really just invigorate some juice, as they've kind of needed some athletes. Just get out there, run, jump, and just do some things that these bigger athletes can do. So Christian Koloko, getting him for the Lakers at this point in time could be massive, especially if Anthony Davis does not play against the Memphis Grizzlies. So Christian Koloko will probably be in that backup role while Jackson Hayes starts the game. So hopefully we'll see what goes down for the Lakers and see if Anthony Davis is able to play. If not, then it's going to have to be Jackson Hayes, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Christian Koloko, possibly other guys stepping up to sort of fill that void and hopefully try to scrape a win against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are a bit banged up, but they still do have John Morant, Jared Jackson Jr., and some pretty other solid players on their roster. And they're going to give the Lakers all they can ask for, as because they were a team that probably not too long ago that got booted out from the playoffs by the Los Angeles Lakers team, and they probably still remember that. So the Lakers definitely got some work to do on this last game of the road trip. Hopefully Anthony Davis can play. If not, then he'll be able to play for that Friday game against the Philadelphia 76ers. But that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, like I said once before. And then just there is 75% of you guys who aren't subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, and just every and all things Lakers basketball, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you don't miss any of the updates. Just leave a comment below of what you think about what's going on with Anthony Davis, and if you think Christian Koloko, his return, could be helpful for this Lakers squad. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.